topic, we are just going to look at 5 ways of knowing you have great bass from your subwoofer in your home theater or your already existing home theater. This is just basically to help out guys that have been into home theater or probably trying to get into home theater, and basically the new subscribers. If you're old and you know everything about bass, maybe just stick around, just watch the content and just pass it by and continue with your other stuff. Number one, guys, is balanced sound between your mids, your highs, and your lows. So basically, you must have a balanced output in your highs, mids, and bass. And this comes from when you have a really good AV receiver with great room correction. You'll be able to get great output. And not actually having a great AV receiver, consider pairing that AV receiver with a power amplifier, because that power amplifier kind of goes a long way of giving or feeding enough power to your speakers to perform optimally or probably perform at its best. So consider giving your speakers enough juice to match its performance with a big sub, especially if you are running something above 10 to 12 inch driver bass sub. Consider using power amplifiers for your speakers so you don't get boomy bass or muddy bass, courtesy of not really giving your speakers the amount of power it deserves to work your movies and your music content. Now, number two, guys, is transient bass is a must in your home theater. Now, if you don't really know that word transient comes from the fact that your subwoofer's drivers are dynamically quick enough to handle any low notes from any sound recorded, any sound entirely. So basically, that bass you get must be quick on the dime. So if it's not quick and it's sloppy or boomy, that is not a good system, to be honest. You really need a good combination of a good crossover from your AV receiver, basically a room correction software that does the automatic correction, and a good subwoofer that can actually handle low frequencies below 20 hertz. And you need to get dual subs if you probably want transient bass from your system. I've always said it on this channel, dual sub is the key for great performance. If you are looking for long-lasting performance from your sub, you need to go dual. Basically, dual is the best way to go in your system. You can pair up your current sub with another brand and you still get a great performance, better than what you probably are getting from one. And number three, guys, is using good room correction with better bass management. Everything I'm saying here will be in the description below, so if you don't get it, just look at the link, the description below. You probably get it. Now, what number three is using good room correction with bass management system. Yeah, I hear a lot of guys saying they just want clean sound from their stereo amplifier. They don't really want to correct their bass. They just want to leave it that way, but you have a lot of issues in your room. Not everybody's rooms have the same gain frequency, so you basically want to tame that high mid bass that is kind of like noisy. You have to tame it down so you get that surreal ultra low frequency that you probably are looking for without having to muddy up your bass. That's where a good room correction comes in. So technically you need a really good room correction to get the best out of your system. If you are not using good room correction and you have a very flashy setup with a dual subwoofer setup and everything in between, and you don't still have a good room correction software, you will have an issue, and that is just the honest truth to this. So guys, consider getting a great room correction software in your, it's either you go and get a mini DSP and calibrate your speakers or you probably get an AV receiver, something from Anthem, Yamaha, and even the Marantz, the Sound United company, that's Marantz and Denon. You probably get the best room correction even in Odyssey. And number 4, guys, is avoiding distortion from your subwoofer. When I mean avoiding distortion, I actually mean cranking your subwoofer to reference level that it becomes so noisy that you don't get clean bass, but basically cracked up. I call it cracked up bass. So you basically start getting cracked up bass, and it kind of damages. In fact, you will get to damage your subwoofer from distortion than overpowering your subwoofer. And that is just the honest truth. So do not crank your subwoofer above its limits. If you want more output, I'll suggest you invest more cash in getting more subwoofers, because the more subwoofer you add, the more dB you add, the more gain you add in that room. So basically, you don't really need to run your system too loud to get giant bass. So basically, if you're looking for large bass from your system, you basically need to go multiple subwoofer route and not just cranking up a single subwoofer in your corner and expecting magic to happen. You have a lot of standing waves, peak noise and all that. Everything will sound blotted out. It will not sound good, clean, or detailed. You won't get detail from your subwoofer. And finally, guys, cleaning, this is not really like to perfect your bass, but it's really important. And number 5 is cleaning your subwoofer and using power conditioner, power strips for your subwoofer protection. Guys, I can't stress this enough. You cannot spend thousands of dollars buying an expensive Atmos system, DTSX system, Oro 3D, and buy a fancy Peony Gloss subwoofer that you can actually clean. You just leave it in the corner and it's dirty. Just because of the fact that you don't really have time. If you're going to spend a lot of money on your system, please do a decent job by cleaning up your system once a while. Have a clean room, have a decent or a beautiful room, because a beautiful room will go a long way in telling your friends that come over the kind of person you are. So basically, have a clean room. Always clean up your subwoofer, and make sure you have power conditioners plugged to those individual subs. Don't just plug your subwoofers to the wall outlet and expect miracles to happen. They could be thunder strikes and they could destroy your subwoofer indefinitely. So be sure to use power strips, power conditioners, whatever you possibly can do to protect your subwoofer and keep it clean for a long haul. So guys, this is basically the 5 tips that I have for you guys today on how to get great bass, that you basically know you have great bass from your subwoofer today. And I very much hope it does help you out guys out, the newbies to the channel. And do me a favor, subscribe to the channel.